I'm not your ex. Scooch. Strong talk. What's up? Yeah. You get the bag and fumble it. I get the bag and flip it and tumble it.
What's up, CJ?
What's up, Ron? My brother. Oh, my bad. My bad. You know, it's the other producers. My dog Bunk in the producer seat tonight. What's going on, man?
Man, now they're just trying to get this producer thing figured out. You know, poor Ron, rest in peace. He's not with us anymore.
You know, I was gonna tell you your name shows as Ron on the screen, just so you know.
I know. I got a spirit in me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do my best in this producer role. I've never done it. Never thought about doing it, but here we are.
Oh boy, let me just share this right here. Again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our loyals, thank you so much for tuning in, for joining us on another installment of the Wednesday Night Haymaker. And that's when you normally hear the ding, 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 ding. Our normal producer. We was gonna make something up, but we decided to tell the truth, man. So our normal producer, he had some gambling debts, man. They came and collecting. We got a weird letter asking about
it was cut out of magazine. Like they had cut words out of magazines.
It was almost
I didn't even know they still made magazines.
It was like a Dave Chappelle movie that I had seen. It was almost like a comedy. I didn't know how to take it serious. And the even more wild thing about it is they said that they was going to kidnap him and let him use his phone and join us in the comments. So, ladies and gentlemen.
So we might hear from producer Ron tonight in the comments.
You might hear from the producer himself. But man, I'm looking forward to it, Bunk. You know, this is originally what it's supposed to be, baby, just me and you. So, you know, we just allow him to tag along because he is producing, but we don't need all that dancing in the videos. We just need somebody to press play, baby, and we ready.
Absolutely.
Right. Let's get this thing started, man. So first off,
we miss you though, Ron. We miss you. Man, I don't like having to mash all these buttons and type all this stuff at all. That's not. I'm just here to look good and drop bombs.
Now I got to be in the comment section, you know, paying attention to things. It's not gonna be good. Well, you know what, my brother?
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it, man. We have a new segment, a rebranding of a segment. And hopefully next week we have my music and my pitch up and all that stuff. I'm looking good, throwing them my L's. But we got a new segment. It's called Handin Out L's with CJ. In this segment, I will go over different scenarios in sports, different topics in sports, and hand out L's. And we know what an L is. An L is a loss. We're gonna get right into it, man. You know the first L that I'm handing out to, man. I got a few L's to hand out for my first one.
Who's taking the first one? The inaugural L. The inaugural L. The first one.
Inaugural L. And ironically, it's going to be more than one. The NFL got to take this L. The NBA taking this L. The NCAA taking this L.
Oh, this is a big L. What are they taking it for?
This is like major sports. And I do include the WNBA in the NBA umbrella. You know, just so we're saying. In NCAA, I'm talking about across sports. Fining coaches for criticizing calls or referees or officials, even after the conference or the organization says that the coach was right. Case in point, this was just the latest example, Lane Kiffin. Once again, and I don't know what kind of pictures Gus Malzahn has on the SEC, like if he has those pictures of the higher ups. But whatever it is, they cheating for Auburn. It's insane. But it was another instance where it should have been a replay. I think it like a ball bounced a certain way. The ball should have went the other way. It should have been Ole Miss ball, game over.
Yes.
They didn't replay it. And so Kiffin came out and was like, they should have replayed it. Like, that's BS. We won. They fined him. And not only did they fine him on the same day, they came out of the minute he was right. Yeah, you're right. But give us that money. So in this L, there is a W, though. I do have to give the W's when we can. Kiffin wants to pay in all pennies. I would love to see him like wheelbarrow a bunch of pennies down to the NCAA office, like $25K worth of just pennies, bro, and just like walk in and go to the president, what's his name, Emirates desk, and just pour him out. Just pour all the pennies out on the desk right there. That right there would do me some grand. But we've seen it in the past in the NFL, the NBA. Whenever the coach criticizes the ref or criticizes the league, they always get a fine. And I think maybe in some instances, I could see if they were wrong. But when the coach is obviously right and the league admits, I don't understand how you would find a coach for speaking truth. Like you admitted the fault, but the coach can't admit that you had fault. I don't get it. So that's an L for me, and that's across the board.
Yeah, that's a really good point, CJ. I think there should be some middle ground there. I think as long as you're not being disrespectful, as long as you're not just bashing somebody
Right.
and you're questioning a call or something like that publicly, then I think right or wrong, you should have that opportunity. I do think if you cross the line into disrespect or like questioning somebody's professionalism or something like that, then fines should come down. But yeah, I think that's a warranted L and a good kickoff to this segment.
Right, I like that. Right, thank you, sir. Now this was a late edition. Shout out to one of our CEOs, Mr. Usher himself. He said we got to throw this in the show, so I got to get this an L. Now we know I'm not a big baseball fan, but I do follow the World Series. Shout out to the Dodgers doing your thing. I got to give an L to Kevin Not So Cash. In the 5th inning, you take out a hot hand. Snell. Yeah, Snell. I know Snell, but I was gonna say he was a hot hand and his left hand, right? Am I right? Was the left hand hot hand? You take him out and you bring in the guy who somebody told me they've been hitting off this man all year long.
Yes.
Now, I don't understand why you trying to throw the game. If that give me that's Pete Rose-esque right there. That kind of giving off Pete Rose. I don't know if
my man's point shaving.
Right, bro. It just don't.
It's Tony and blue chips. That's what we're talking about.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, I got to throw him too. He got to get the L's. He got to get a couple. That's on him. That single-handedly changed it.
Yeah.
I don't.
In going back and seeing some of the things that have come out about this decision, I don't necessarily disagree with taking Snell out. Now, I wouldn't have done it. I would have ridden the hot hand just in the situation. But apparently his numbers after the 6th inning or after like the 4th or 5th inning at sometimes this season have been really bad, including recently. I think in the last game that he pitched, he was dealing, and then all of a sudden when batters came up that 2nd and 3rd time, it was home run, hit, walk, hit, Yeah. And so I don't necessarily think that was the wrong decision, but I do think that, the choice they made and who they went with after that was a terrible decision. But in the end, to me, this series kind of almost looked like the last series in that they just really couldn't generate a lot of offense against the Dodgers. Like, it didn't really matter who they put in pitching because they weren't getting hits.
Right. So I got a buddy of mine follows baseball pretty seriously. He was praying that Atlanta won.
Yeah.
Like he was jumping for joy. Like he was like, "We're gonna kill Atlanta. Like it's not even gonna be close." So
a Tampa fan thought that?
Tampa fan. Yeah.
I felt the exact opposite. I thought that whoever won out of Atlanta and the Dodgers would crush either of the American League teams, Houston or Tampa. But that might be a little bit of league bias, but that's enough about baseball. It's over. We don't have to talk about it for a long time. So who else is getting? Anybody else getting any else?
No, that's it, man. I'm done giving out L's. You know what I'm ready for though?
What are you ready for?
This is something that never gets an L. This is one of the most exciting times of the week for me. We got Bunk's big list. Hit him with it, baby.
All right. I appreciate that, CJ. I appreciate it. That's a good intro. No graphics, no theme music, bare bones here, but we're
taking it back old school.
Yeah,
we sit at the kitchen table, man. We just chop it up.
I like it. So number 10, I didn't know this, but the league gave Kansas City an extra bye week. Lucky for them though. The New York Jets are going to come do a little scout team work for them and let them get a look this Sunday. I don't know what the line is in that game. What is it, like 40? I don't know.
I don't know, but that's I didn't know.
Our resident degenerate gambler's not here with us tonight, so he can't tell us. Hey. Number 9, Jerry Jones' attitude. Look, things are bad. Things are bad in Dallas, but Jerry Jones He can't be telling reporters to shut up, man.
Bro, Gary do what he
Look,
wants,
things are going
bro.
to get progressively worse in Dallas, I think, which is a shame because you feel like they kind of thought they did things the right way, right? They built a team around an offensive line, quarterback, running back, receiver. They thought, especially having that offensive line that, maybe not this year, but the last few years, a lot of people felt was one of the best, if not the best offensive lines in football. And then now they just can't keep a quarterback upright. But Jerry can't be telling reporters to shut up, man.
But you know what? If you said, CJ, how many owners in the NFL can get away with telling reporters to shut up? I would say
him for sure.
Him, like Jerry Jones. I would say Robert Kraft, because he would make some story up about how he, wasn't in his right mind, and we'll forgive him because he's this lovable guy. But other than that, like those two, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's not that big a deal. I just thought it was funny, honestly.
It's hilarious, bro.
And number 8, hyperbole. It's, the election's right around the corner. We're in the middle of football season. Everywhere you look, things are going to be the worst, the best, disaster, a miracle. So it's the season of hyperbole. So get ready because it's here. It's upon us. Number 7, small schools being smart. This is a shout out to Bethune Cookman. They're going to take a lot of heat. They've canceled sports for the 2021 season. And I'm sure a lot of that's economically driven. But I also think that there's probably a good portion of that decision that is based on trying to do the right thing for their students and their student athletes. So I just wanted to give them a shout out here.
Did you see how fast Wisconsin got COVID?
Yeah, well, we're going to get right into that because number 6 on the big list is doing nothing, which is what the NFL and NCAA, I mean, I know they've got their little protocols in place, but really it seems like their whole plan is just to ride this thing out, try to play games when they can, don't play games if they can't. I don't know what that's going to look like come bowl season, come playoff season, that sort of thing. Right now, the NFL's moving games around, and they've been able to because there's still enough season left to shift some things. But when you get into the last half of the season, that's going to be a lot tougher. And the same for these college teams when they when they get later in their season. Some of them are only playing 6-8 game schedules as it is. So if you start missing games, that's going to be a real interesting look when you have a team ranked maybe in the playoffs that only plays 5 games, and then a team at 5 or 6 that's maybe 10-1 or 8-1, something like that. So that's really interesting. But then the most disheartening thing to me was that the news came out the other day that a lot of these preseason college basketball tournaments have been canceled, including all of the ones that were scheduled for the Orlando bubble. Now some of them are going to find new homes, like there's talk about the Champions Classic going to Indianapolis and that sort of thing. But one thing I heard that was really kind of disappointing was that a big reason a lot of these preseason tournaments have fallen apart is because the conferences can't agree on protocols. Like they can't just come together and go, hey, this is how we're going to do things. Everybody do it the same way. And then let's meet and play these games. And, at some point, they're going to have to, I don't know if the NCAA can do anything to make these conferences kind of align, but at some point they're going to have to find some common ground in how they treat this pandemic and in order to get these games in.
Man, you ain't lying about that, bro. You heard, even just speaking of that, my Gators, real quick before you move on.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it was sick. They got, it was 14 days, no football. The football facilities shut down for 2 weeks. I guess they reopened them on Monday, and it was 6 new cases, like boom, just that quick. So I'm like, man,
it's tough. It's tough. And I think that for the most part, people want to do the right thing, but I think the system isn't in place that kind of tells them what that right thing is and leads them down that correct path. So that's where I think the issue is. I think, coaches want players to be healthy. They want to play the games, but they want their guys to be healthy. They don't want people getting sick, that sort of thing. Yes. So, we got to figure out the system that needs to be in place to allow this to happen. 100%. On a brighter side, number 5, we're going to get practice squad news. We talked about Dallas a minute ago. They're going to be looking at practice squads, trying to find quarterbacks, things like that. Des Bryant, come on, man. It is practice squad news time, and I'm here for it. I hope some guys get some jobs. I hope some guys make some rosters, that sort of thing. Yes. But it's that time of the year. Number 4, new swing states. So since it is election season, we talk about hyperbole and things like that. You're going to hear about all these new swing states. Georgia's potentially a swing state. Texas potentially a swing state. I'm not buying it. It's still going to be Pennsylvania, Florida, Ohio, that sort of thing. Yes. Wisconsin. But you're going to hear a lot about how some of these maybe historically conservative states might be getting a little purpley.
Right.
Number 3, the Masters.
Gotta see it.
The Masters during football season. That's interesting, but to me,
college game day's going there.
That was what I was going to say. College game day's going to the Masters, man. That's, at first I was like, that's a little weird, but then I started looking at the game schedule for that day. Mm-hmm. Like the most notable game, legit, and I'm not saying this because I'm a fan, but it's probably Miami, Virginia Tech. Like there's just not a lot of good games scheduled that week. So it makes a lot of sense for ESPN to move college game day to the Masters. It's kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I think they'll probably find a way to have fun with it, even though there's not going to be a lot of people there. You don't think? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it'll be good. And then, speaking of other sports, we don't normally talk about. The Champions League's on, so we got a little soccer action.
Okay.
Today, I was hoping that Ronaldo would get cleared and be able to play so we could have Ronaldo versus Messi. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. And Messi did his thing, got a goal in Barcelona, beat Juventus 2-0. So, Robbie, if you're listening, sorry, bud.
The soccer plug. Yeah, Robbie over there sick right now, huh?
That's right. And then number 1, man, the guy that just, came out of this thing on every front page for probably the wrong reasons is Justin Turner. Right. Justin Turner had a great playoff run. He made key plays in pretty much every series that helped his team win. And, he's getting bashed a lot for being out there after the COVID thing. And after, it was weird because they found out in the middle of the game that he had COVID.
I was going to ask you,
they pulled him like I think in the 8th inning. And so it was, it's a strange situation. He's been out there with these guys the whole time. And, part of me feels for him because it's like, this is something he's worked for his entire life. Hey. This is, since he was a little kid, he's dreamed of this moment and, wanted to be out there and celebrate and things like that. At the same time, this is a life or death situation. If somebody gets sick because of this and has a bad go of it, then, that's something that he and others are going to have to live with. So I hope everybody comes out of it okay. And I hope this is something we can just look back on and go, maybe that wasn't the right move, but it worked out. So that's the big list for this week. I hate to kind of end it on a downer.
Yeah, no, you good. It's your list, man.
Like with all the Justin Turner news coming out, it's not the greatest look, but like at the same time, he's worked for it his whole life. I'm not trying to apologize for what he did or anything like that, but it's like, what do you do?
Right. I mean,
that's a tough situation.
It's tough. But then didn't they say like, did he come back out with them and celebrate?
Mm-hmm.
I guess
that's what I'm talking about.
They was like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were like, okay, bro, come on out. Like the team.
Yeah, they didn't seem to mind. They didn't seem to.
You know what's crazy? Did they test him at the 7-inning stretch? Like when?
Dude, like walking into the stadium, I don't know. So the different tests take different lengths of time to get back. There's some you can get back in 20, 40 minutes. Some take a day or two. I honestly don't know.
But why? My point is, why would you take a test before the game where you didn't get the results before the game started? Like what would be?
There's a lot of weirdness to this situation.
But listen, he can go to the same doctor that Nick Saban went to. And you test positive with that doctor, he'll give you 3 negatives 3 days in a row, make it a false positive. So he just found the plug that Nick Saban used and he'll be all right. He'll be forgiven. All right, man. Well, hey, bro, again, your list is always my favorite part of the show. I wish we had.
I appreciate that, man.
I love your list, man. It's very.
I'm gonna post it in the comment section for the loyals. They can rip it apart. Right.
Look at Bunk. You really are producing. Look at that.
Hey, man.
Look at you.
Hey, man.
Let's go. All right. Well, you know what? Why you doing that? My son just walked in. What's up, man? Why you doing that? I'm going to switch segments. I want to talk snow, Dat Facts.
Let's do it.
Right. Normally I try to have 5, but I had to add an extra one just for, and this is why I really think he didn't come on think he's ducking it because I was right, and our producer doesn't like when I'm right. He hates it, but we'll get to that when we get to that. All right. Snow Dat fact number 1. The Cardinals are for real. 5-2. They just beat Seattle. Kyler Murray, I mean, for the most part, he looks like the only person that can stop him is him.
Yeah.
Cliff is coaching his behind off. The defense is there. They look like an overall good team, and it's hard to find weakness with them right now, and they can score. I think that the Cardinals, now I'm not claiming to be Super Bowl winners, but I think that the Cardinals are going to make some real noise and be a real tough out come playoff time.
It's a tough division, right? But with the expanded playoffs, you could see Seattle, the Rams, and the Cardinals all making the playoffs. Like,
right, man. That'd be pretty dope. I was ragging on my guy about the Rams. I started to put the Rams in this spot and try to give him some love, but I ain't want to do that. And I'm glad because he come on the show.
We don't need to talk about them. No, we're not talking about Rams. We're not talking about Philly.
You got two teams. You got
out of respect for Ron, we're gonna give him the night off.
Right. But I think that's a Snow Dat fact. That
absolutely. No, that's a good call. That's a good call. And I'll tell you, I was not a big Kingsbury. I'm not gonna say I wasn't a fan of him coming to the NFL, but I wasn't sure how it was gonna work out. And this year it seems to be, working really well.
I said the same thing, man. I felt like the only reason he got the job there with the Cardinals was because what McVay was doing with St. Louis. I think like just that younger guy with
that hot young offensive mind,
man, good looking guy
to relate to the players, to talk to the media.
Right. But it actually worked. Like it was a method behind the madness. He got his quarterback.
Especially with these younger quarterbacks, it makes a lot of sense. Give them a head coach they can relate to. Give them somebody they can develop a bond with. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with the Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes situation either. Where you got an old head that can,
Andy,
get it done with these guys.
Aggressive though, man. Andy,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
He has no problem relating to players. I don't think.
That's Patty Mahomes. All I do is give him the game plan. He do the rest. We ain't worried about it. All right. Snow Dat fact number 2. The Steelers are the best team in football.
I feel pretty good about it.
I say that because one, they're perfect. And I'm a strong believer in you are what your record is. So they are perfect.
Yeah, in the NFL for sure.
Right. And they have played some tough games. So it's not like they have just skated by.
It's one thing through like 3 weeks, but once you get into week 6, 7, 8.
Now we're going to really see.
Yeah, there's a stretch.
Right.
There's a stretch.
They got a good little stretch. But as of tonight, they are the best team in football. Mike Tomlin is proving the doubters wrong. Big Ben proving the haters wrong. I'm a Big Ben hater. But they balling out, man. I think that they are the best team in football when you just compare them, how many points they're scoring, how many they're giving up, just overall team play. I just don't see anybody playing better football than them today. Oh, I hear the crickets in the back. Mike didn't get my Snow Dat fact.
Snow Dat.
Well, Snow Dat. I was gonna say, all right.
I'm getting caught up in this producer thing, man. I'm making sure we're right.
No, you good. No.
But I will say, early on I jumped on the Steelers because it just felt like one of those years, and they seem to be clicking. And so far, they've looked like the best team in football. I agree with that. I think that's a good one.
Who would you say is number 2? If we had to pick a 2 or 1B?
Man, it really shifts week to week. 1 week it looks like Green Bay. Next week it might look like the Bucs. The next week it could look like the Seahawks, or even, the Rams in the beginning of the season looked like they could be that team. Sorry, Ron. Rest in peace.
The thing I love about this year, it just seems like there's so much parity and like there's so many, like we don't have a clear cut, this team's gonna win it. I mean, hell, even the Patriots are struggling. Like everything's on his head. I like the parity. I like it being spread out. We kind of get enough of with the NBA. Who's gonna win. You're gonna see some great ball, don't get me wrong, but who's gonna win at the end of the day. I like this with the NFL where it's like it's a lot of parity and it's a guessing for the most part. I like it week to week. That's how I'm spanking y'all butt on them picks. Because y'all pick with your heart.
Nah, my problem is I pick what I see the week before instead of what's happening this week, man. I feel like that's been my issue. Like, I'll be impressed by a team one week, and then the next week that same team will come out and lay an egg.
Hey, you know what I do, man? I throw darts and whichever team it lands on. It's been working. It's been working.
That's right. No, you're killing it.
Right.
Your fantasy still going all right?
Man, I lost, man. Ush beat me, bro.
Oh, no.
But
You're still in the league? You still in first place in the league?
I got one loss. One loss. So I think the next person is 5-2. But it's not looking good, man. My team kind of falling apart. I got so many injuries. But you know what? One, I'll give kudos to Ush, and he has to give me my credit because I called it early. I said Ush is gonna beat me because I didn't realize I was playing him until we started playing. And I'm like, now watch he beat me. Watch, just because I didn't know. But no matter who I played, because I only had one other guy on my bench that was eligible to play. And even with his score of 30-something points, Ush would have still beat me by like 2 points. So no matter what I would have did, I would have lost. I can eat those losses. Now, if I had somebody on the bench that would have won me the game, I'd have been pissed and we wouldn't have talked about it tonight. All right. So that fact number 3. And this one shot the hell out of me. The Big Ten is more than just Ohio State. And that shot.
Well, it was. It was.
Yeah.
Now we'll see what's happening with Wisconsin.
Yeah. But I wasn't even going there. I'm about to show
Michigan.
love. I'm going there.
Let's do it.
Michigan.
They found their quarterback?
Right. That's what I was getting ready to say. Out of Florida. I don't know how. I remember Jim McElwain trying to recruit this kid or not recruiting this kid. I know he really wanted to come to Florida. Yeah. I got to give a shout out to my boys. But he looks freaking awesome. It looks like there's more than just one team. And I was going to say 2 teams, but I didn't want to put Wisconsin in there because ain't no telling when they coming back. But Michigan looked real good. The offense looked good. Defense looked good. Special teams was crisp. They looked like they came to play. It looks like Milton fits like
Ron
that.
Hyping up Michigan in the comments.
I can't be mad at him because I like what I saw. I like what I saw out of that first week, man. It was refreshing to see. It was almost like Andrew Luck. That Andrew Luck kind of feel to him. Like he's running the offense, and you're like, yeah, this is a Jim Harbaugh offense. This is what it's supposed to look like. So we're gonna see, man. I think that if Jim doesn't get it done this year, he's not gonna get it done. But I think Michigan right now, not counting Wisconsin, but Michigan right now is the second best team, and I think it's closer than what the experts think.
Yeah, I'm not sure between Wisconsin and Michigan. I need to see them both a little more first. But I think they're both legitimate contenders. At least what we saw the first week of their season.
I like it. Now, this one is the more intriguing one, and we're gonna come to the conclusion together. So I haven't made up my mind yet, which way I want to go with this. But for Snow That Fact, we're just gonna give some facts. So, just to give a little background on it, KD came out and said he was more skilled than Allen Iverson. And that kind of got me to thinking, like, is it true? Because KD's my favorite player. He does and says some things that, I don't agree with, but then again, I don't agree with anybody, for everything they do.
Right.
But for this, let me go into my stats. I want to go into my little comparison chart. Now, I'm going to name the category, and I'm just going to give you who has the most or who has the highest. Now,
can I guess? Can I guess?
No, you're not. I'm gonna tell you who it is, but I'm gonna go through. Well, we can go that route if you want to. If you want to guess them.
Yeah, I was gonna try to guess.
Okay, all right. Well, this is okay. Well, let's do it like that. And then if I'll let you know who has it, and we'll go through ones and down. And then when we get to the end, we'll decide together. Was KD right with his Snow That fact that Kyrie, or was he wrong? So this is KD's Snow That fact.
Okay.
Right here. All right. NBA championships, 1-0.
Yeah, Kyrie.
NBA seasons, 9-14.
Yeah.
Playoff games played. Playoffs, 4-8.
Yeah.
All-star games, 6-11.
Yeah.
MVPs, 1-0.
Yeah.
All NBA first team, 3-0.
Yeah.
All NBA teams total selections, 7-2.
Yeah.
Scoring leader, 4-0.
Yeah.
Steals leader, 3-0.
I'm sensing a trend here, CJ. I was hoping we were gonna guess like we were gonna talk about
it's
skill.
coming.
I
It's
thought
gonna
we
be.
were talking about like
It's
some
coming.
field goal percentages.
It's coming. That's coming. That's
Okay.
coming. That's coming. Rookie of the year. It's a tie.
Yeah, Ty.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Points per game.
Yeah.
Right. Rebounds per game.
Yeah.
It's a tie. 3.7.
Oh.
Right. And just to give points per game, AI 26.7, Kyrie 22.4.
Yeah.
Assists per game.
Yeah.
AI at 6.2 to Kyrie's 5.7.
Yeah.
Steals per game.
Yeah, for sure.
AI 2-1.
Yeah.
Blocks per game.
Yeah, still.
Kyrie's
got him.
Kyrie 0.4.
Kyrie sneaks blocks every now and then.
Every now and again, he's sneaky. He's sneaky, but he's getting almost half a block a game. That's pretty good. Of course, this is a little biased. Total points scored.
Yeah.
Total rebounds.
Yeah. All the totals. I was gonna.
Total assists.
Yeah.
Total blocks. Total games. All right. Now your part. Field goal percentage.
Kyrie.
46% to 42, or rounding up 47% to 43. All right. 3-point percentage. Kyrie got him at 39% to 31. Free throw percentage, and this was Kyrie. I didn't realize AI was shooting less than 80% free throws.
Yeah, he wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great.
Right. I didn't remember that, man. That's almost like LeBron goes into them slumps when he shoots free throws like that. So the great ones, they do it. But yeah, Kyrie. Points per game.
Oh yeah.
AI. Rebounds per game.
Oh yeah, we did that, Todd.
No, rebounds per game is Kyrie.
Oh, okay. What was the one we did earlier?
Oh, this is it said, I'm sorry. This is the best, like their best season.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, gotcha. All right. We're gonna start back over. I'm just reading them long. All right, this is their best season. Okay. Points per game.
Okay.
Rebounds per game. I gave it away already.
Right, yeah.
Kyrie. Assists per game.
AI.
AI did have it. He had almost 8 back in 2000.
Yeah.
Right.
Was that one of those mellow years?
Was
that when he was with Denver?
Yeah, 05 it was, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, right.
No, that might have been one of his last years in Philly. 05.
Don't give me the
I don't remember.
Still,
no, I think
because I don't
remember when he went to Denver. It was either Melo's second or third year.
But can we agree that in 05 Melo was in Denver?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right, that's how I like it. Okay. That's how I like it. All right. Steals per game. Who you got?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Blocks per game.
Kyrie.
Mm-hmm. Now, jump into playoff stats. Points per game in the playoffs.
Kyrie.
AI.
Oh, yeah, the year that he took him to the finals. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is just overall.
Are we talking about best? Oh, I thought we were talking about best playoff series.
Yeah,
okay. Overall, AI. Yeah.
Overall,
sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Rebounds per game. Now, this is overall playoff stats. AI got him. Yep, 3.8, 3.3. Assist.
AI still.
Blocks.
Kyrie.
Sneaky. Yeah. He's almost averaging the block. He's over half. He's 0.6. Yeah. Okay. And then, of course, we know the total stats. Let me see if anything. Okay. How about this is just a sneaky stat.
3-pointers made.
Total stats. Total blocks. Kyrie versus AI. Total blocks.
Ooh, that's close because AI's played almost twice as many games and Kyrie's averaged twice as many blocks. Give me AI by like 5 blocks.
Kyrie Irving 36, Allen Iverson 14.
Oh man, smoked him. AI's block numbers must have went down in the playoffs.
Right, bro. That's insane.
Probably because he was carrying such a big offensive load, honestly, because he was on those Philadelphia teams, especially, he was the only one getting buckets, really.
And then it has, percentages overall. And this is very similar. Like, it didn't really change. Field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw all go to Kyrie.
Yeah.
And then you get off into the best.
What about assist to turnover ratio?
I'm not seeing that on here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't see that on here.
That's one
Last
thing I would
second.
be interested with those two because they're both, both pretty high usage players,
Mhm.
and both attack a lot. So I don't really have a feel one way or the other who would have the lead on that stat. But that would be one thing I'd be interested in, especially when we're talking about like the skill level or what have you. But I mean, honestly, both of these guys were amazing with the ball, fun to watch with it in their hands, like the way they just confuse people and attack. To be like, I mean, AI would dunk on you, right? Especially
Right.
early in his career.
Right. And he will
But to
rise
be
up.
like smaller dudes and smaller guards and just the way they finish around the rim, I'd take either one.
Right. And especially like pound for pound, I think AI is
Yeah.
like one of the best like ever. Ever.
To me, the thing that separates Kyrie a little bit is he's a really good shooter. He can really shoot the basketball. But then at the same time, AI was probably, or not probably, he was the better athlete. AI, quicker first step, more explosive to the rim, that sort of thing. So that would be a really fun matchup. Neither of those cats are really going to wow you with their defense, but I wouldn't have minded watching them go head to head offensively against each other. That would have been a lot of fun.
Right. And then just to kind of go over one last stat, the best of the playoffs. So combined, with the year that they had their best playoff performances in,
Yep.
and again the stats stick the same: points per game, Allen Iverson; rebounds, AI, just a little bit.
Right.
Assists per game, AI, bro. In 2005, bro, during his playoffs, Allen Iverson averaged 10 assists. 2005. That's amazing.
And probably 30 points, right?
Right, bro. Still. AI, and then of course blocks goes to Kyrie.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you was keeping tally, but when I did my count,
1,000. I got 1,004 is what I got. I wasn't a math major.
I stopped counting it. Now, again, Katie is my guy on the court, but I'm gonna have to say that is not a snow dat fact that Kyrie is more skilled than AI.
It is not clear. It is not clear as the driven snow.
It doesn't. The numbers don't speak. Numbers don't lie, and the numbers say that Allen Iverson was the better player, just better skill. He did more, and then he did more. I don't want to say he did more with less, but Kyrie.
Now, he did more with less. I don't know that Kyrie takes that Philadelphia team to a finals.
Eric Snow. He took Eric Snow to the finals, dog. Okay, but AI is one of my favorite, bro. He the reason why I grew my hair, man. I had my braids, bro. I used to try to call myself Iverson, man. All right, so he was wrong on that one. Let me see. Did Ron say anything in the comments about it? No, he ain't say nothing. All right.
Ron was talking about Kyrie leading in blocks.
All right. My last snow dat fact for the night. And this is a revisit from last week because I want my fact from last week when I said it, and I want it this week. I said LA was on top of the world. And then one of my co-hosts said that I was wrong. He said that Florida, in fact, was on top of the world. And I say, well, Florida hadn't just won the state of Florida hadn't just won a championship like LA has, and with the pending another championship. And then he was like, oh, well, the game's not, the series not over, blah, 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 blah. I said all that to say, LA is on top of the world. Now, I would love for the pandemic to be over before they do something like this. But how cool would it be if they had like a joint parade? Shut the city. I mean, they're going to shut it down anyway. But just have like a Uber, make it like as much money as you would put into each parade, like still put that same money in and have two like massive parades. Start one at one end of the damn LA, the other one at the other end, just meet in the middle, bro, and just party for like 2 or 3 days, bro. It'd be freaking awesome, man. Oh, I would love to do something like that. Pandemic going, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really sad that, some of these celebrations and things aren't going to really be able to take place in the manner that they would have previously, aside from all the other terrible things that have gone on because of COVID. But yeah, earlier on the show, several shows ago, we talked about the city of Los Angeles and the state of Florida. And it looks like LA won.
Right.
It looks like LA won.
I'm about to tell y'all, LA on top of the world.
Now, if the Rams and Bucks, if they both meet in the playoffs, something like that,
And if the Rams and the Bucks make it to the playoffs, I would have to get an edge to Tampa Bay, dog. They got the GOAT. Tom Brady showing you right now he the GOAT, dog.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
If Tom Brady was in New England, they would be undefeated right now.
Yeah, probably so. Maybe one loss. Maybe that Kansas City loss.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
But for sure.
But it wouldn't be like that, bro. Come on, man. Yeah. That's it for me. But man, I know it's just me and you, man, but you got a blame game for tonight?
Yeah, so we're the Handin Out L's isn't the only rebranding we're doing. We're also rebranding More or Less True to Bunk's blame game. So what we're going to do, just like we did before, is we're going to look at a situation and we're going to figure out in order who's to blame. So this week, I want to talk about the Chicago Bears. And, the Chicago Bears record-wise, they don't look terrible. But I think the product on the field doesn't necessarily match the record at times. And I think there's a good possibility that, they've got a pretty rough stretch coming up. They still have to play Green Bay twice, the Vikings twice, as well as a few other games. They've got a few more wins left on the schedule, but it looks pretty tough for them moving forward. So if the Bears do not make the playoffs, who will be to blame? Is it one, the head coach, Matt Nagy? Is it two, the quarterbacks? Or is it three, the offensive line?
Shoot. Okay, now it would suck if I don't get a point when Ron is here. But
all right, I've got mine written down.
Ron is not going, so he can't get a point. So right now,
that's right. Yeah. You can match Ron tonight.
This is on the line.
And me, because I won the point last week.
Right. We can even this thing up, man. Okay. The only thing though, you don't get a point because Ron wasn't wrong. Now let me stop. All right, here we go. I'm gonna think. Wait a minute. I'm gonna go. Bro, what would you say, Bunk? I'm gonna go offensive line, head coach, quarterback.
My man.
Did I get it?
You got it.
Let's go.
CJ coming through in the clutch and tying up the season.
Let's go. But break it down to the people why you got them in that order, man.
Yeah, well, the main thing is that, first of all, if you can't block, it doesn't really matter who your quarterback is. So, I put that on the offensive line first, not being able to block, but then I also put that on the coaching staff, which starts with the head coach, right? So it's all pretty, they're all tied together. If you can't block, it's on the offensive line, it's on the head coach. But at the end of the day, the ones that are going to look the worst are the quarterbacks. So I put them at the end of the line. So that was my reasoning behind the three.
I like it, man. I like it.
Absolutely.
I'm just glad I got it.
So CJ ties it up. We are tied up 1 point apiece.
I'm looking like I knew quarterbacks. I knew the QB was not going to be it. I was like, I said, he either got the offensive line or he got the head coach. It's one of the I couldn't. I'm glad I went that way. I was hoping that because I was like, we both nailed it. Without the O-line, you're not making the playoff.
When you said offensive line leading off, I was like, CJ's got it, dude. He's about to crush.
He got it. Bro, do you know how mad?
Absolutely, man. Well, I'll tell you, we didn't have all the graphics, and we didn't necessarily have all the sound effects that we like to have. Right. But I feel like we still had a great time tonight, CJ.
I enjoyed myself, my brother.
Absolutely. I enjoyed myself. I'd like to thank the Loyals for joining us tonight. We appreciate you coming out and supporting, and we'll see you again next week. Y'all say a good word for Ron. Miss you, buddy.
Y'all have a good one, man.
All right, y'all.